So this is going to be a comparison of various project developments for homework one for, I believe, SCR 416 for week one. So let's jump right into it. Come on. Oops. So first method is waterfall method. Summary is a step-by-step approach. Each phase must be completed before the next phase begins. No overlapping phases and extensive documentation usually required. This is kind of the old tried and true method. As far as strengths, it's clear and easy to understand because it has the structures, defined stages, and know what needs to be done each phase. Easy to manage due to rigid and flexible nature. It's, like I said, very strict structure and predictable as each stage has specific flow and expected deliverables and review process. The disadvantages is difficult to make changes after moving to the next stage, not suitable for complex projects or longer term contracts, not suitable for projects that need constant customer feedback or iteration, so like agile method, or the ones we'll see later. Does not handle dynamic changes well. Once again, like very inflexible. The more changes you make later on down the line, the more expensive they're going to be. So usually you want to have what you think is going to be fleshed out. Best suited short-term projects where requirements are well understood, simply and well defined projects, and lots of documentation. So that's where it's best suited for. Our next one is going to be the spiral method or spiral model. The summary is it's an iterative and evolutionary approach focused on risk assessment and reduction of those risks. Each cycle results in new and refined prototypes. So you're always getting like a refined product as it's kind of spinning around. Strengths handles risk effectively, can be adapted and changed as difficulties happen. Lots of feedback due to refined prototypes, more client feedback, which means better engagement and more likely to create product client will like. So you get a lot more basically feedback as you're going through the different stages. Disadvantages: it can be expensive, requires well thought out risk and assessment, not good for small projects, might be too complex for some projects. So overly complex. So that's where you wouldn't want to use it. So where models best suited for large, complex, high-risk projects, shocker. Projects where requirements might change when feedback is needed due to clients' tastes changing or changes occurring. And that's basically spiral. So next one is rational unified process or RUP model. Summary is iterative and incremental development process, uses specific phases, which are inception, elaboration, construction, and transition, and is very customizable. Strengths are big emphasis on user feedback, very flexible and dynamic, can manage change requirements as they come, and clear rules for objectives. Disadvantages: can be resource expensive, aka money. Might be too much for simple projects, requires knowledge and to customize properly, and steeper learning curve. Where it might be used is medium to large scale enterprise projects, projects that require adaptability and can afford dedicated resources, projects where money isn't an issue. Yeah. And our last one is going to be the agile model. Summary is incremental and iterative approach, emphasis on collaboration, feedback, and customer satisfaction. Short cycles, iterations called sprints, stand-up meetings to get everyone on the same page. Strengths are high adaptability to changes, continuous feedback improvements, strong stakeholder engagement, faster time for end product. Disadvantages: requires experienced team, less predictable due to adaptive nature, can be challenging for larger teams or like distributed teams. Initial setup is resource intensive because you're trying to hit the ground running. Sometimes you have to learn new frameworks or get everyone set up. So that first sprint can be rough. Where the model is best suited for fast changing environments, projects that values customer feedback, small to medium sized teams. And that's pretty much it. So to keep it short and sweet, but that's going to be homework one.